Hey guys, so today we're going to do a water taste testing. So I've already done a video actually on still waters, and today we're going to be doing carbonated waters. And I know like some people are going to say, well, there's no difference between different waters. Well, you'd be surprised actually. In my still water taste test, I was actually surprised myself. Like when you actually have waters lined up side by side and taste them, they actually do taste quite a bit different from each other. Like if you're just drinking water by itself, you might not notice a difference, but when you actually have them side by side and drink them like from different sources, it actually does make a difference, I think. So yeah, today we're going to do carbonated waters. So these are all carbonated mineral waters that I was able to find around my area. So this is just from the local supermarkets in my area in Canada. So there's a few I have to mention that aren't available in my area that I've tried before. I think just want to mention them because I do think they're pretty good. So one is Topo Chico. Topo Chico is I think mostly only available in the US for now. They're from Mexico originally. Now they're fairly like more widely distributed than before. Maybe still not like extremely available everywhere, but Topo Chico in my experience has been pretty good. It's very, very carbonated. So my experience with Topo Chico is, wow, this water has like the most bubbles. Has the most carbonation out of like any carbonated water I've tried. But overall I think the taste is pretty good, so I had to mention Topo Chico. Another one I want to mention that's definitely not as widely distributed is Germic. So Germic is water I found, I think in one of those specialty, it was one from one of those Middle East like halal, I guess, supermarkets. It's like specialty halal supermarkets, and it's from Armenia actually. What's interesting about Germic is, first of all, it's naturally carbonated. It's not artificial, so there's actually not that much carbonation in it when I tried it. But that's because they never added any extra carbonation. It's just naturally from the spring in Armenia. And this water has been apparently bottled for a long time. And yeah, when I tried it, it's interesting taste. It actually tastes slightly salty, but it also gives it kind of an interesting flavor. So it really looks like the Germic water is like, it tastes very natural because of that. Because yeah, it tastes a little bit salty to me, but it also feels to me very natural because, so yeah, when I taste it, it's just like, oh, they never did anything to it. It tastes very natural. It's because that little slight saltiness, I think, gives it a bit of flavor that I didn't really experience with any other bottled water, so I think that makes it unique. And I can taste like, oh, this is what makes this Germic water from Armenia special, is this extra little flavor to it. Oh yeah, another thing about Germic is that it's heavily mineralized, so I think it has about 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams of HCO3 and 700 to 1,000 milligrams of sodium plus potassium in it. So that might be a reason why it tastes so unique. It has a lot of minerals, so it's not the smoothest tasting water, but it definitely tastes very distinctive. So to me it has a distinctive, slightly salty taste to it. And yeah, very mineralized, and it's basically what I would expect a water to taste like from the Middle East, from a natural spring that's been there for hundreds of thousands of years, or hundreds, basically a long time. So yeah, that's another water I enjoyed, so I had to bring it up. Alright, so today we're going to be focusing on these four waters here, so we can go through them. So left to right, this one is Montellier. This is a Canadian brand actually, and this water is from Saint Brigitte de Laval, Quebec. So yeah, this is mostly Canadian local water. I don't think it's widely available outside of Canada. It might be, but yeah. Montellier is in this comparison because it's actually fairly easy to find here in BC in the local supermarkets, and in my experience is actually pretty good value. So yeah, Montellier from Quebec. And then Gerolsteiner, this is carbonated water from Germany. So this is the most expensive water on this list, I think, but it's a very unique water. There's a lot of minerals in this one, and yeah, it's from a volcanic region in Germany. It's been produced, I think, since the 1800s. So this one is in this comparison as well. And then we have two of the most popular carbonated waters. San Pellegrino, of course, I'm sure everyone knows this one. It's from Italy. It's fairly widely available. So yeah, definitely had to have this in this comparison. I personally am a huge fan of San Pellegrino. I think it's a really nice water. So yeah, anyways, having this comparison. And then Perrier, of course, is another really famous water, pretty widely available. I think Perrier and San Pellegrino, everyone probably knows these waters, fairly available since the 1860s in France. Yeah, so I gotta have these two in the comparison. They're just widely available and famous. And yeah, I try to get the glass bottles whenever available. So these three are in glass bottles. These two also have plastic versions, but I prefer the glass bottles. Yeah, I feel that glass bottles impart a different kind of flavor on the water. Like for me, it tastes a little bit smoother with a glass bottle compared to a plastic bottle. So that's why I get the glass bottles for these. Gerolsteiner is only available in glass bottle, and Montellier is only available in plastic bottle. So yeah, that's what we have here. These four waters. So yeah, let's do a comparison, and just like with my still waters, I'm gonna give a ranking on yeah, how I feel about each of these waters. All right, so first up, we're gonna try Montellier. So this is carbonated natural spring water sourced in Saint-Brigel-de-Laval, Quebec, like I mentioned. And this is the cheapest carbonated water on this in this comparison video. It is only $1.50 Canadian for 1 liter. So that's very cheap actually. So actually, whenever I go out to buy like a standard carbonated water in my local supermarket, I usually pick Montellier. I think it's fairly decent for what it is, for the price. So yeah, we're gonna check it out. This is probably because it's so local. I think that's probably why it's so cheap, and it's not widely marketed outside of Canada either. Oh yeah, the mineral content. So it doesn't have too many minerals. I think it has Ci 50, 42 calcium. You guys can see, maybe not so well. It's not very well printed. But yeah, there's a mineral count. It doesn't have too much minerals in it. So it should taste relatively smooth, right? So anyways, let's check out some Montellier. And this comes in a variety of flavors, by the way. I'm testing only, so for San Pellegrino, Perrier, and Montellier, they also come in other flavors. I'm only testing the natural flavor. So basically the original water flavor. I don't know, the original flavor basically. It's not flavored with any kind of fruit or anything. So it's just the original flavor. It should be just natural water flavor, I guess. All right. Ooh. A decent amount of bubbles. For carbonated waters, I also want to see how many bubbles it has, right? Like I said, Topo Chico is probably, in my experience, had the most carbonation, but let's just see. This is Montellier. Not bad. And yeah, all these waters are straight refrigerated and yeah, kept at the same temperature. So just to keep that even. Yeah, this is pretty decent water actually, decent amount of carbonation. Yeah, not bad. So, not bad water at all. For $1.50 for 1 liter, it's pretty good. I mean, that's reasonably reasonably priced actually for a bottled carbonated water. So not bad. It's actually cheaper than all the still waters. The premium still waters I tested in my previous video. This one's cheaper than all of them. All right, so Montellier definitely not bad. I think pretty good value for the price. All right, next up is Gerolsteiner. So Gerolsteiner is actually one of my favorite mineral waters. So this one comes from Germany, and it's quite expensive. It's by far the most expensive on this list. Usually it's $5 for 750 milliliters. So yeah, $5 Canadian for 750 milliliters. I got a little bit on sale, but normally I would not pay full price for it. But since it's on sale, I got it, and I do like this water. It's just really expensive usually. So yeah, it comes from a volcanic source in Germany. It says taste the origin of nature from a volcanic region, low in sodium, but it has a lot of calcium and magnesium in it. So this one, in my experience, this is one of the most heavily mineralized waters I've ever had. There's just so many minerals. It's like a mineral explosion. So yeah, 348 milligrams of calcium per liter, 108 milligrams of magnesium, and 1,800 HCO3, like milligrams of HCO3 per liter. So that's a lot. So yeah, you guys can see the mineral count here, hopefully. All right. So yeah, this one definitely has the most minerals out of any bottled water I've tried, basically. Like Germic probably comes close. I think Germic and Gerolsteiner for sure. So let's try it out. Definitely It's a treat when I try this water because it's so expensive usually, but I like it. It's just, yeah, so expensive. Yeah, I'm not actually drink too much of this at a time because it's very heavy on calcium and magnesium actually. Oh man, yeah. Definitely, yeah. So like, this is like the opposite of like when I talked about in my previous video, the smoothest water I had is probably like, you know, Voss and Icelandic Glacial and Aquapana, right? Those waters are all very smooth tasting. This is like the opposite. This is like not smooth tasting at all, but it's not meant to be because it has so many minerals in it. I think Evian actually had a lot of minerals in it, but this has even more minerals than this is way more minerals than Evian even actually. So yeah, okay. So not very smooth tasting at all. I mean, there's just so many minerals in it, but if you're looking for a water with a lot of minerals, heavily mineralized water, then Gerolsteiner is the way to go. I mean, yeah, this has a it's basically if you drink this, it's like you get a percentage of your 10%, you get 10% of your calcium and magnesium of your daily value just by drinking this. Actually, half of this. So yeah, if you drink this entire bottle for a day, you get 20% of your daily value of calcium magnesium. So it's almost like a health supplement. Like, yeah. So it's not smooth. Don't get this if you want a smooth tasting water. But if you want a source of magnesium and calcium, like a health supplement, then definitely this is healthy. It's a healthy water. So I usually get this. If I have the chance, I don't drink it every day, of course, but it's something I will drink once in a while. I think it's very healthy water, right? It'll give you a lot of minerals. All right, next up is San Pellegrino. So this is obviously a very well-known water. So San Pellegrino is a very well-known mineral water. It's available pretty much everywhere. I think the company dates back officially to the 1800s, but the history of San Pellegrino, they say, goes back to the times of Leonardo da Vinci, who actually taste tested the water or something. So they have that in their history, but officially dates back to 1899 is what it says here on the bottle. So anyway, it's over 100 years old. Mineral count actually has a decent amount of minerals, 244 milligrams of HCO3 per liter, 400 milligrams of SO4. Yeah, I mean, you guys can actually take a look. That is the mineral count of San Pellegrino. A decent amount of minerals, not as much as Gerolsteiner, but more than Montellier. Montellier doesn't have that much actually, but San Pellegrino has a decent amount. So yeah, it comes from San Pellegrino Terme, Bergamo, Italy. Yep. Actually, it's fun fact is Nestle owns both San Pellegrino and Aquapana, so they own all the Italian waters. But you know, I know Nestle has a bad reputation, but I like Aquapana, and I've had a good experience with this water as well. So let's try it out again and just to confirm my beliefs. Okay. Try some of this San Pellegrino. So San Pellegrino is $3 Canadian, and this is for the 750 milliliter glass bottle. You can also pay the same price for a 1 liter plastic bottle. So if you get a plastic bottle, you get a little bit more water. But for me, I think the glass bottle makes a difference to me, so that's why I got the glass bottle version, even though I get less water out of it. But yeah, if you just want to have the best value, the plastic bottle probably is the better value, right? You get 1 liter out of it for the same price. But yeah, this is the traditional glass bottle. And yeah, $3, so it's cheaper than Gerolsteiner, but more expensive than Montellier. Yeah, I would say it's it's actually, as far as premium waters goes, it's cheaper than a lot of the still waters I tested in my previous video. It's cheaper than Evian, cheaper than Aquapana, and cheaper than Voss. So not bad. Right, let's try it out. Okay, so my experience with San Pellegrino has been this. It's actually fairly smooth. As far as a carbonated water goes, it's very smooth. There's not too much carbonation in it, but it's just enough. It's enough where it goes down very smoothly. Yeah, that basically, San Pellegrino is actually one of my favorite carbonated waters because it's very easy to drink. It's very smooth, goes down the throat very easily. Not too much carbonation, but just enough. You know, it's just enough. You get a little bit of the bubbles, but not too much. So I actually really like San Pellegrino. So yeah, Montellier actually has more carbonation, more bubbles, but also means it doesn't go down as smoothly in my opinion. It's okay. Montellier is very good for the price, but San Pellegrino is definitely a smoother carbonated water. Goes down much easier. A little bit of carbonation, just enough. So yeah, I think for a regular carbonated water, I think this one is very nice. Just, you know, I think most people will like this water. It just goes down very smoothly. Gerolsteiner is a whole different whole different universe, right? It's not smooth at all, but you don't get it for the smoothness. You get it for the minerals. All right, and lastly we have the almighty Perrier. Yep. So Perrier, a French story since 1863, coming from Perrier, Vergeze, France. So yeah, this water has been bottled since the 1800s for sure. It's one of the oldest commercially bottled waters. So yeah, I think this one, a lot of people know this one. This is a very famous bottled water. I think Perrier and San Pellegrino are probably the two most famous carbonated waters, two of the most famous premium carbonated waters, I should say. So yeah, and the mineral count. All right, so yeah, maybe you guys can see the chemical analysis on Perrier right here. All right, I think it's roughly it's interesting because this is also fairly mineralized, but in a different quantity than San Pellegrino. So this one, the calcium level is about the same, 150 milligrams of calcium. San Pellegrino has 166, so that's about the same. This has 420 milligrams of HCO3. This one has 244. So this one has more bicarbonate. So I think otherwise it's comparable, but in different, like just overall the amount of minerals I think is roughly equal between the two, but just the difference is what minerals they have. Like this one doesn't have that much SO in it. This one has way more SO. But this one also has more, this one has less CI, this one has more CI. So it really depends on which minerals. So anyways, they both have a lot of minerals, but different kinds, I guess. So yeah, that's interesting. Let's check it out. The bottled version of Perrier. Again, Perrier actually costs about the same as San Pellegrino, so it's also $3 Canadian for either a 750 milliliter glass bottle or 1 liter plastic bottle. So it's the same price. You're paying more for the glass bottle version. That's what I'm doing. But if you want more water, then more value, then just get the plastic bottle version. But personally, I prefer the glass bottle version. So I'm willing to pay a little bit more for that. All right, Perrier, let's see how it compares. It's all right. Definitely not as smooth as San Pellegrino. San Pellegrino is definitely smoother than Perrier. I wonder if it's because. I wonder if it's because of the bicarbonate. Perrier has much more bicarbonate. Maybe that's why it's not as smooth. All right. Perrier, in my experience, is just it's all right. It's not my favorite carbonated water. I think for smoothness, San Pellegrino has always been my favorite. Like This is like the smoothest carbonated water I've had. It just goes down very smoothly and has just the right amount of, like, not that much carbonation, but enough that you feel a difference. Perrier doesn't go down as smoothly. It seems like it has a little bit more carbonation than the San Pellegrino, though. I mean, they say they have 1 million bubbles, or 1 billion or something. Anyways, whatever their marketing is, it seems like it has slightly more carbonation than San Pellegrino, but it doesn't mean that it's better. For me, I actually prefer the taste of San Pellegrino to Perrier. I think Perrier is just alright. So in terms of the smoothness, Perrier is in between San Pellegrino and Gerolsteiner. It's definitely not as smooth as San Pellegrino, but it's a little bit smoother than Gerolsteiner, I have to admit that. But then Gerolsteiner gives you way more minerals than Perrier. So yeah, so I mean, personally, I think out of this ranking, I'm not saying like Perrier is bad or anything like that. People have their preferences, but for me, Perrier is probably at the bottom. Just because if I want to have like a really like smooth tasting carbonated water, I'd probably pick San Pellegrino. And then if I'm in the mood to have something with a lot of minerals, I'd probably go for Gerolsteiner. So not really sure when I would drink Perrier. And then Montellier, there's a time and place for Montellier too. Just because it's a good value for the price. It's half the price of Perrier and San Pellegrino, and it's like a third of the price of Gerolsteiner. So Montellier just gives you so much value. Yeah, it's relatively affordable. And it's okay tasting. I actually think I like Montellier better than Perrier in terms of the taste. So so yeah, that's basically my verdict, guys. Montellier, very good value. It's only $1.50 for 1 liter, so it's fairly affordable. And honestly, I like it better than Perrier in terms of the taste. So yeah, I think it's better tasting water for me. It goes down smoother, and maybe doesn't give you as many minerals as Perrier does, but still, personally, I prefer the taste of Montellier more than Perrier actually, and it's very affordable. So Montellier for the best value. Gerolsteiner, not smooth at all, but gives you the most minerals. If you drink this entire bottle per day, like I said, 20% of your daily value of calcium and magnesium. So yeah, if you just want to have the most minerals and the healthiest water out of these, it's definitely Gerolsteiner. But it's expensive, so that's the downside of this one. San Pellegrino, the smoothest tasting carbonated water. So just in general, if I just want to have a nice carbonated water to go with any kind of food, I think San Pellegrino will pair the best with the most variety of foods. It goes down so smoothly, and yeah, I really like the taste of San Pellegrino. And then Perrier, yeah, I mean it's okay. That's all I can say about it. It's alright. Like I would prefer any of these other waters to Perrier, but if I had to drink Perrier, I wouldn't mind. I just prefer these other waters over it. So that's pretty much my ranking in terms of the actual taste. San Pellegrino first probably, and then so hard to rank Gerolsteiner because it's different. But I would probably say San Pellegrino #1 ranking overall for the taste and everything. And then yeah, probably Gerolsteiner after. It's expensive, but it has a really distinctive minerally taste to it. So probably Gerolsteiner second, and then Montellier 3, and then Perrier last. So that's subjective, right? My opinion, my ranking, but that's how I would rank these. So yeah, it really depends what you guys are looking for. Overall taste and smoothness, San Pellegrino. The healthiest, most mineralized, Gerolsteiner. The best value for your money, Montellier. So let me know if you guys have any questions in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed these water comparison tests. Like I said, I wish I had some of the other waters here, like Topo Chico. I wish it was here Germic. And there's a lot of other mineral waters, carbonated waters that I haven't tried yet or just don't have available. But anyways, out of these 4, that's my ranking. So let me know what you guys think, and as always, thanks for watching.